What's going on, guys? I hope you guys had a good weekend. My weekend was pretty good. I mean, weekends are usually really short, but I want to start off by saying that I don't claim to be an expert at Foxbodies. I just want to share my experiences with you guys. My combined, experience with these cars. This one I'm going to have for 4 years. And the previous one I've had for about 2. So that's about 6 years of experience I've had with these Foxbodies. Again, I'm not an expert, but I want to share stuff that's happened to me. And I hope the stuff that I share with you guys, it's helpful. And that's one of the main reasons I started this channel, is to be helpful when it comes to people that own these Foxbodies. And yeah, let me just share something that I want to share with you guys. Stick around. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to pull this car out so it'll get better lighting out there. And I'm going to share with you guys something that happened to me about 2 years ago with this car. And hopefully it's helpful for anybody that's out there watching this video. So stick around. Guys, so when I bought the car wasn't in that great condition, but about 2 years ago my starter was sticking on the car. So what I mean by sticking is every time I'd crank the engine, I'd crank it, it'll turn on, and then the starter just kept going and going and going. I'd pull the key out and the starter kept going and going until I guess it burned itself out, or once my battery drained, or the only way I would be able to stop it is I would have to pull a cable off, and that'll stop the starter. But yeah, let me show you guys how I fixed that, and I hope it helps somebody out there. So stay tuned, guys. The starter, I didn't have any issues with the starter when I first bought the car, but the reason I replaced the starter was because the starter was really weak and it had trouble turning the car on, even with the full battery. So I decided one day to replace the starter. So I replaced the starter, and for anybody that doesn't know out there, is once you replace the starter, you have to replace your starter solenoid at the same time. It's recommended, and yeah, you're supposed to do it together. So I did that, and once I did that, my starter started sticking, and it was a remanufactured starter, and it was just one of those AutoZone starter solenoids that I had replaced. So I had an issue with those 2 new parts. So I had no idea what was going on with my car. I was reading all over the forums of what could be the cause of it. So I started just throwing parts at the car in hopes of me fixing the issue. So the first thing that I replaced on the car that did not fix the starting issue was, hold on. So the first thing that I replaced that did not fix my starter from sticking was the ignition module, I think it was. It's like a piece like this. If I have a picture, I'm going to post it up right now. But if you guys haven't replaced that yet in your Foxbodies, I recommend you guys replace it. It's in here. It's very easy to replace and it's very cheap. A lot of people have electrical issues, and it's because of the starter module, or I forgot what it's called. Once I figure it out, I'll post it here, but it's inside here, and a lot of times it's brittle. It's a plastic, so it breaks over time, and the wires contact one another, and it just short circuits everything. So if you guys haven't replaced that, I recommend replacing that. But anyways, guys, I replaced that. It didn't fix my issue with my starter. My starter kept sticking. So once I replaced the ignition switch that was inside that I showed you under the column of the car, it still kept sticking, my starter. So I was like, okay, it was probably the starter, I'm thinking. So I take the remanufactured starter back to AutoZone and I get a brand new one. And it's the same BS that kept going. I put the new starter in and it kept sticking. So then I finally went back to AutoZone and I got myself, I guess they have 2 different kinds of starter solenoids, and this one was like, I guess, the more beefier version of it. So I bought that, I put it in, Same time when I replaced this, I had ordered brand new wires from the LMR website. So these are the Motorcraft wires, the negative and the positive ones I replaced. And the reason I replaced these was because the black one that goes all the way down, I think it goes down to the motor, was completely brittle. It looked fine from the outside, but down there somewhere, there was a crack. And there was oil going inside the wire. And this one's pretty flexible, and the wire that I had was completely brittle. It was very, very hard, and there was a crack somewhere down there. So I replaced these wires, both of them, and I had put this in place. And what I did was, online, I was reading that this backing plate right here for the starter solenoid is supposed to be touching this metal on the, I guess, the fender apron. And what I did was I made sure everything was clean back here before I put it on, and I bolted it on. And as soon as I did all this stuff and I tightened everything down, once again, just a little quick tip, guys, make sure when you guys tighten these things down, you guys don't tighten them too tight, because this is plastic and you could really break it. And once you break that, this doesn't work anymore. So once you tighten this, just snug it up and you'll be fine. But anyways, guys, once I put this down, I cleaned the backing plate of this and the apron and everything. I put everything down, brand new wires and all that stuff with the brand new starter. My issue was fixed. All right, guys, so I don't know exactly what fixed my issue. I don't know if it was the fact that I put brand new wires, or I put a brand new beefier starter solenoid, or I don't know if it was the fact that I had to clean the back plate, this little metal piece, so it could sit flush onto the fender apron, or if it was a brand new starter, guys. I mean, electrical is not my thing, but those are the things I did, and it helped and it fixed my issue. So if you guys are out there and having the same issue, I recommend just making sure that your wires are not cracked or everything is tight. And I guess this is sitting flush. I read online that this was, I guess, a ground or something like that. It acts like a ground, so this has to be touching some type of metal part. So yeah, guys, I mean, hopefully this video was helpful to some of you guys. If it was, don't forget to like the video, share it with somebody, and if you guys are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing, guys. And hopefully you guys have a good one. Take it easy, guys.